Hi everyone, it's Yvette Le Blowitz from SPAITGIRL.com and welcome to the Spirit Girl Talk Show podcast. I'm super excited to be here with you today in this online audio space and with our very special guest, Naomi Whitfeld, who is the founder of iKOU. And Naomi, welcome. How are you?
Hello, Yvette. I'm going fabulously. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, Happy New Year to you and all of our listeners too. I'm so grateful and honored to be here with you today. You're one of our incredible self-care, visionary wellness spa lifestyle brand pioneers. You have an Australian-made organic wellness brand, spa brand, and just so grateful to be here with you. And congratulations also on the launch of your book, which is Energise Your Life. This is so beautiful, your book, to the point it has so many incredible rituals, your life story, your journey, recipes. I know we're going to dive into this to share with our book club and listeners, but congratulations on your book. It's so beautiful. It really is.
It was such a pleasure to write it. I'm glad that you've enjoyed reading it as much as I enjoyed writing it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Now, for our listeners tuning in, are you happy to tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do and more about your journey too?
Yeah, absolutely. So I founded iKOU in 2007 with my husband, Paul. So both of us are involved in the business. We started in our Blue Mountains kitchen making our products. Didn't last very long in the kitchen. Within a few months, we needed to get our first warehouse. But I think the reason that iKOU moved so quickly is that it's based on everything that we personally love and believe in that's benefited our own lifestyle. And because of that authenticity, it's really attracted its tribe very quickly. So within our first year of launch, we had intended just to make products for hotels and day spas for them to use in treatments. Because I'm a self-confessed spa junkie, I love spa treatments, and I wanted to create products that would be of the type that I would really enjoy, that were inspired by global spa culture, but also that were based on natural and organic ingredients. Because Paul and I were both severe eczema sufferers. So Paul was born with eczema. I developed eczema at the age of 11, and doctors and skin specialists told us we would never be able to cure our skin. And through a very long journey of exploration into wellness, all aspects of wellness, we finally realized that the combination of using organic and natural ingredients combined with rituals of rest and relaxation, that spa lifestyle to de-stress and relax, was the winning formula for us, putting the two together, that whole healthy living. So we really wanted to share that with the world. And very quickly, like within the first 6 months of launching the brand, we'd gone from the idea to just make products for hotels and spas to opening our first iKOU store that brought all of our products together as well. So it's been a really amazing journey of growth to where we are today, 12 years later, making products for about 200 locations around Australia, also internationally. You can find us now in Singapore and Scandinavia. We're in discussions with Japan. But yeah, all started way back 2007. In a Blue Mountains kitchen.
That is so incredible that it all started in your kitchen in the Blue Mountains. And also, like, I have personally had treatments. We talked about this a little bit earlier before I hit record, and it was so transforming. It was at the V Spa up in Cairns International, Pullman International, but the therapist was beautiful and the ritual, and I fell in love with your story, the founders, your story, the journey, and I love how you're using the organic and Australian-made products, and it's truly, truly Australian. So tell me, Your skin is absolutely glowing, incredible. I can't see any remnants of you suffering from eczema. I mean, your life transformed in such a way by completely switching. There might be some people tuning in who are suffering from eczema, and it might feel really dry and uncomfortable. You do a number of things. You discovered a number of things
Yes.
you in your journey. Can you share more about what it felt like? So if there was someone out there, like me, as an example, I've never experienced eczema. My brother did. I've been really blessed with good skin growing up, but can you share a little bit more for the people who maybe haven't gone through that eczema journey so we can get more of an insight to what it now feels like to go from that to this?
Absolutely. This is a subject so close to my heart. And I think in the last year, so many more people have been reporting sensitive skin conditions as well. And for me, a lot of people I've noticed, they always ask, what's the magic cream? They want to know what's that miracle cream that's going to fix it. For me, it was less about one individual product that I was putting onto my skin. It was more about eliminating the things that were actually continuing to feed the cycle. And this was where my journey to organic and natural really became so ingrained in me, because I honestly hadn't even realized that the things that doctors and skin specialists were recommending for Paul and I to be using, the common thread with all of them was that they were based in liquid paraffin. And so, of course, that protects your skin in the short term. So you might even feel like your skin starts to heal because it's giving it that natural, or that oil protection that you're lacking naturally in your skin. Because I generally always find that when people have eczema, they have quite dry skin and they've lost their natural ability to protect their own skin with their natural oils. So for us, once we eliminated those things, I actually encourage people to take a 2-week challenge, because sometimes it's scary. You know, you think that we used to have a giant tub of sorbolene cream. We were actually just laughing about it last night when we were sharing this story with some friends. We used to have a big kilogram tub of sorbolene cream that we would share. And it's scary to change that feeling because it felt so rich and thick. And because it was unscented, recommended by our doctors, I always thought that that was the right thing to do. So what I did was, I was too scared to throw it out. I actually put it in a bag. I tied the top up. I wrote all the cortisone creams, all the washes that we'd been encouraged to be using, put all of that in a bag, wrote the date 2 weeks from then, and promised myself I would not touch them for 2 weeks. And I just switched to natural nourishment of the skin. It was still a little bit of a journey for us. It helped, but still came back. And then that's where we really found the difference of taking time not only to care for our skin, but to care for our mind as well. Because the cycle of stress feeds stressed skin conditions. And then when your skin is stressed, it makes your mind feel stressed, and it becomes a cycle that's just so hard to break. So really bringing the spa lifestyle into our day on a regular basis, not just waiting until those times when we would go to a day spa to perhaps have a massage or do something to reset our nervous system, but every single day just bringing small rituals of relaxation into the day to get your body just deep belly breathing and making your mind feel calm, as well as being very vigilant to moisturize and keep our skin hydrated and protected. That was our winning formula. And as you can see, I don't get eczema now. Paul was born with eczema. So for him, he'd had it even longer than me. So you're talking something like 35 years that he had suffered from that condition. So it wasn't a coincidence. It's definitely been something that worked for us. And I'm so grateful for all of the fan mail that we get from people that have joined the iKOU lifestyle and really brought wellness and spa lifestyle into their life. And they write to you saying, you have changed my life. Thank you. My skin feels so good. And it just helps your self-confidence. Everything feels so different when your skin feels different.
That is so beautiful to receive those letters and to transform the way people feel and their life. It just must fulfill you so much. I can just see how deeply grateful and just how passionate you are. For anyone who's tuning in, you'll have to watch this on the YouTube channel, but just you can just see how passionate and how kind and loving you are towards transforming others who are joining you and sharing in the iKOU lifestyle. So for someone wondering, what does iKOU stand for? The naming. And we see that your philosophy is about rest, relax, and restore, which I read a lot about in your book. But for someone joining in, can you share a little bit more about what this means and stands for and your whole philosophy around rest, relax, and restore?
So we're really inspired by global spa culture. Paul and I are keen travellers, and we've travelled the world basically to explore spas. Whenever we were choosing travel, it's never just about the icons of the country to be visiting. It was also about exploring the spa scene, and Asian spa is something that really has inspired our journey. I just love how real it is, how hands-on that it is, how the ingredients are basically food ingredients that you could be eating, but tied up with ancient traditions. So I always knew that I wanted a name that was not English. I wanted it to be globally inspired, but something that gave the intention of rest and relaxation. And that was why we chose the name iKOU, which is a Japanese word. The Japanese would actually pronounce it iKOU, but for us in Australia, we call it iKOU. And it means to rest, to relax, to restore the heart and the soul.
Wow, that is so beautiful. That is such a beautiful meaning. I love, love, love that. I'm sure our listeners tuning in will love, 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 love that too. So beautiful. I'm so glad I asked you that question for our audience because I really wanted to find out that from you. And then obviously you have so many beautiful products, which we're going to dive into. I'm going to find out for our audience, what's one of your favorite go-to products or something that you wouldn't leave home without or you carry in your handbag? I'm so fascinated to find this one out.
So because I'm all about bringing rest and relaxation into everyday life, it will vary according to how much time I've got for the day. And I think that's our most important message for people is don't wait until you've got time. You can do little things throughout the day to relax. And then we encourage people to choose a day of the week that they actually name as their spa day and to choose a fun name for it. So mine is Sunday Spa Day. And because it's got a name, it feels like an appointment with yourself. Others know about it. So if you say to them, I can't do this because I've got Sunday Spa Day, they respect that. But it also means that you honour it as an appointment with yourself so that weeks don't go by without enjoying at least an hour of home spa ritual or going to a spa on that one day a week, but taking a little bit of extra time. But of course, we don't have time to do that all the time to get that hour for self or longer if you can. So during the day, I carry things in my handbag or I have things on my desk that I can use. I often think if you get stressed, things like having a beautiful face mist that you can just, mist all over your face just to get you deep belly breathing and just to inhale the scent from. My favourite one is our Optimum hydration face mist, which is based on a rose hydrosol. So it's very nourishing to the skin, gets you breathing because you breathe in that beautiful rose aroma, but also lowers the body temperature. So if you're racing about and you're feeling that heat rising up, it just helps to cool and calm. We also, all of our staff have this also on our desks. We have a selection of our pulse point aromatherapy rolettes so that you can choose your mood. And that's a big part of iKOU is aromatherapy to say, how are you feeling? If you're stressed, you might choose our de-stress roulette and you can just roll that onto the the temples. You can do a little pressure point massage into the neck. Might waft under the nose. But we all have different needs, and so it's never just one scent. Sometimes I think if you're tired, you might want something that's got fresh lemony scents or lemon myrtle in it to waken the mind, or if your mind's racing, something with lavender will really slow the mind down. So quick little things like that. And hand cream is the other thing that I really love, is to turn your hand cream into a beautiful massage where you can like really massage into the pressure points of the hand just to release tension. You can do that when you're reading emails, just before you go into an appointment. If you're waiting for an appointment, you can just really massage out the tension, even then take that into the neck so that you're really just easing that tension away without taking any extra time. You've completely reset your nervous system because you're breathing in those beautiful aromatherapy benefits. You're absorbing them through the skin as well. So that would be on my on-the-go ritual. And then a shower ritual. We all need a shower every single day, right? We may not always have the time for a hot bath, which is one of my ultimate luxuries. Everything for me is based around a hot bath. But in the shower, my absolute favorite way to transform the way that I feel is a body scrub. And iKOU does beautiful body scrubs. I could actually base an entire company just on scrubs. I love creating them. I have no shortage of ideas around the scents, the textures. But when your conditioner's on, a lot of people think they don't have time, but when your conditioner is on, just comb it through. You need to leave that on for a couple of minutes. So turn the water off, scrub all over, and then just rinse off your conditioner and your scrub at the same time. You feel so light after a body scrub. It just feels like anything that you don't want to hang on to. It's not just about shedding skin. It's also, I think, about shedding the emotions that you're hanging on to, that you just want to let go. And you can even imagine that just washing down the drain and just feeling like a complete fresh start. I always feel so light after a body scrub. And we do, again, 2 different blends for different emotional needs. So iKOU is not just about body benefits. We're very much about mind benefits as well. So our 2 core scrubs, which are also what we use professionally in day spa treatments, one is our Italian orange and jojoba body buff, and that's based on sugar. And that has Italian orange and lavender, so it's very calming. They call orange the no worries oil. So it just helps your mind to switch off from that racing feeling, just to settle and feel very calm. Hydrates the skin, so your skin feels very hydrated as well. And then we do a lemon myrtle and Tahitian lime. And as you can imagine, and that's in salt, so it's very invigorating. So if you feel like you've had your energy drained from stress, you can replenish it. So different moods, and I keep both in the shower so that I can go, how am I feeling today? And how would I like to feel? And then if I need energy, I'll go to my salt scrub. If I need calm, I'll go to my sugar scrub. So you can see I'm a busy woman, obviously. It's not that I have loads of spare time, but I bring this into my everyday life. And then my nighttime skincare ritual as well, do a beautiful neroli calming face oil that you can just turn into a beautiful calming massage before you sleep. So you're caring for your skin and for your mind as well.
I love those on-the-go ideas of self-care. And I also love the whole, you got your like hair mask on, so now it's a great opportunity to do your scrub. And what your products are also transforming, because the aroma and the scent and the texture and the feel, so there's such high quality as well, where it really is transforming, transformational experience, where it can really work on your senses and your emotional, physical, mental well-being as well. Because that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing them. And I love, because you're so busy, and most of our podcast listeners who will be tuning in are super busy. And a lot of mums I speak to say they only have time for themselves in the shower.
Yeah.
But I love how you can do that hand cream, at your desk or before you go into an appointment. Or I'm a big fan of your roll-on. I think that's a really easy, powerful way to feel good. And I love the mist. I'm huge on inhaling and exhaling
Yeah.
with breath. And you, in your book, you love to drink tea, and you're big on breathing.
Yeah.
And exercise is huge for you, isn't it? What are some other rituals, self-care rituals that you like to do also from that holistic perspective?
So in the book, there's three sections in the book. So the first section is the business journey and what led us to where we are today, what inspired the brand and how we grew it from our kitchen to where it is today. The last section is recipes and food, because I think that's a really big part of energizing your life, is the food that you eat as well. And then the middle section is the wellness tools. So when we started the brand, obviously we had so many great ideas to be sharing with others that we had really enjoyed and that had benefited us. But of course, the more successful that your business becomes, the fuller that your days become, the more that your responsibilities grow. And one of the things that I've shared in the book is a whole section on wellness tools. And I've described them based on what my own experience has been running the business, and I guess, making sure that I'm balancing the business health with my health and well-being as well. And I've described them as jigsaw pieces, because oftentimes I think we see wellness as all or nothing. I think a lot of people can relate to something's broken the pattern of their well-being, and they might have been, having great routines. Something happened that halted that, and then they just give up on all of it because they feel like they've just got off track. I think by seeing them as jigsaw pieces rather than as a whole, and I've put down 8 wellness tools. The 3 key ones are rest, relax, and restore. And they might sound like similar words, but actually I drill down on why each one is quite different. Like the section of rest is all about the power of sleep. The things that we're doing when we're not doing anything. It's so, so important to be getting 8 hours sleep, quality sleep per night. Regular times, the more hours before midnight, the better. So getting that consistency. The power of relaxation through spa ritual or anything, as you say, that resettles your nervous system and gets your belly breathing happening. And then restoration, which is bringing back your energy through food, maintaining muscular health through exercise, looking after your skin through self-care. So that's the 3 main ones. And then there's 5 others amongst, things like gratitude, shifting your emotions. So many little things add up to the picture of well-being. But if you lose track of one of them, instead of then giving up on the others, look at them as being even more important. And just to give you an example, so exercise is a really important part of my week. I love to start my day with exercise. I choose something I enjoy for the day, so I don't do the same thing every day. I choose something that's really, making me feel connected and keeping my body strong and fit and keeping all the good vibes going for the day. But a few years ago, I had a really bad cycling accident, and I ended up having to have 4 surgeries over the course of 2 years. And directly after the accident, I couldn't even get myself to the toilet. I couldn't even get out of bed. Paul had to help me do everything. And suddenly that one wellness tool was completely gone. There was nothing that I could do to bring it back. I had to learn to reuse my body again. But instead of then going, okay, that's gone, now everything's over, I actually saw it like a jigsaw piece in my mind. And that's why I shared it in my book like that, because it really worked for me to go, that one piece of your wellness that's been integral to your health and happiness, it's now gone. What does that mean about the other pieces? And I thought to myself, it's even more important that I expand the size of those to fill up the space that's been created from not being able to use that tool for physical and mental well-being through exercise. So I really focused on sleep, on eating well, on gratitude, on calming rituals to heal. I did a lot of meditation around healing. And it really showed to me the power of how each wellness tool works together and how sometimes you just need to flex some up while others are flexed down, but to never give up on the journey as a whole, and to realize that wellness is not just about one thing, it is about so many different things. And the little things do add up to amazing results. And it was so much of this, Yvette, that really inspired the book for me, is my own life journey. Life hasn't always been smooth sailing for me. And I've shared all of that very openly in the book. I know sometimes you read well-being books and they sound so perfect that you're reading them going, I can't relate to this. I don't have that perfect life that this person is describing. I know for me, the reason I'm so good at sharing the message of rest, relax, restore is because I love to work hard. I'm a Taurian. I enjoy work. And I often forget then to set the boundaries so that I don't burn myself out. And so this is my message to the world, is the message that I need to remind myself of constantly, to stay on track with, to say, set boundaries, work hard, but then create space. Take some time for you to rest, relax, and restore. And all of that is what really just adds up to that big picture. And that's why I included recipes as well, because food has such a power to give you energy to, I guess, be bothered about wellness activations, because it does take consistency and it does take creating routine. And sometimes people think, oh, I just couldn't be bothered, I'm too tired. But actually taking that time to care for yourself and giving yourself the honor of that time, it really does make such a difference. So I've actually dedicated my book to hardworking women who need a reminder to take a breath along the way.
Wow, that is so inspiring. That's incredibly inspiring. First of all, what a blessing that you came out of that cycling journey on the other side. Today you're sitting here and you've written a book and you continued to share, do rituals and just sort of, instead of giving up, because it could have been so debilitating from going from exercising to then not being able to exercise when you're such a go-getter. I just can't imagine that myself, because, I love exercise too. And the thought of not being able to move and do it, and you went through so many surgeries as well. So, but it's really great now that you're able to share. So you couldn't do the exercise, but you could still work on other aspects of your own wellness and mindset and spirituality. And so I love how you've then intertwined that back into the book. And what's really interesting, when you're an entrepreneur, brand owner, business owner, even though people will think, okay, Naomi works in spa, she'll just be drinking cups of tea and have all the time in the world like Zen master. But it just goes to show you, running a business or running a household or just even looking after your own self, whether you have a job or not, it just takes up, like, it's constantly, you have to work at it. And you're so right. When we get busy, we can kind of go, drop the ball, drop the bundle of self-care completely. But I love how you've shared that even connecting to your breath or making a healthy recipe, some healthy food is a form of wellness and self-care. And it's not just all spa treatments or nothing. It's a whole lifestyle approach. And can I say, your recipes are incredible. The food in here is so beautiful. This is the one I really want to make. This is the lentil burger. But the recipes in here are so beautiful. You eat so much healthy, fresh food, vegetables, like a real beautiful rainbow selection as well, I noticed.
Yeah.
And this is literally the food you eat, isn't it?
It is.
Paul, like this one, to everyone who's tuning in, I'm holding up the book. So if you're on the audio podcast app here, if you head over to the SPAITGIRL YouTube channel, you'll be able to see, but the photography and just, can I say, this is like one of my all-time favorites.
The raw cacao energy balls, they're so good. And do you know, Yvette, it's not that I've got heaps of time to be cooking every single day either. So on Sundays, you know how Sunday is my spa day, That's my reward for getting my food prep done. So Sundays, I make sure my washing's done. I've got my week ready to go. I'm all organized with food. And then I reward myself with my Sunday spa day hour. Generally sort of late Sunday afternoon is when I enjoy that. But when I'm preparing my food, in the book, I've talked about the foundations of meal planning. And I'm not a person that likes to batch the same. You know how some people, they cook a big pot of something and then they batch it all up to eat each week. I love variety, as you can see. I get bored with the same thing. I really like things to be different each day, but getting also lots of different ingredients so that you're getting all of the vitamin and phytonutrient benefits, which is actually the same philosophy we have in our skincare as well. We're very much phytonutrient based. So all the plants' protective mechanisms that keep the plants healthy, that's what we're using in our ingredients for our skin and also the things that I cook with. But in the book, I've talked about on Sundays how there's just two things, if you can make enough for a couple of weeks that freeze, like the lentil burgers, you keep them in the freezer, or the energy balls, and then you've got things that you can just dive into whenever you're needing throughout the week. If I get hungry in the afternoon, those energy balls are actually soft enough to eat straight from the freezer because they have so many nuts in them, so they don't go solid. So you don't even have to plan for that. Or I have green smoothie bags ready to go in the freezer that, again, I've just chopped it up on a Sunday in the freezer, and then if I need to make a green smoothie, I just pop it in the blender with the liquid and everything's ready. There's no excuses then because you've planned to succeed. And I can tell you, after my last surgery, my fourth surgery, I actually got really deep fatigue and it was really hard to shift. I don't know if it was a combination of just, being under anesthetic for so many times after a severe concussion, or my body had just had enough. I was definitely, you'll read in the book, working too hard in between. You think you can still have the same level of energy as what you had, and that's why the book is Energise Your Life, because it's so much about our currency of energy, how we protect it, how we maintain it, how we replenish it. But I really noticed the power of food to shift, and so it's actually really interesting. The book, when you read the story, each recipe pretty much, there's a lot of them that have got an actual story behind why that's part of my week and how that came about. Just for like the power of green smoothies and the energy that it instantly gave me. Or sometimes even it's the quick, speedy tools for how you can make things. Like I don't know if you saw, there's a recipe in there called Sri Lankan dal with a hot bath on the side. Yes. Did you see that?
Yes. I loved that. I loved that.
So use the rice cooker to cook the dal. So the bath runs while it cooks itself. You don't have to stand there stirring the pot. You can still have a hot bath while dinner's cooking.
I know. I thought that was so incredible because on the SPAITGIRL community, we celebrate Self-Love Sunday or Self-Care Sunday, which is literally like you're suggesting a day to sort of really reflect, get organized, de-stress, to do the self-care ritual, read a book, make that nice food, lay on the couch, do the walk, do the yoga. So I love the idea of getting prepared, and I love how how you talked about. I really like your Great Day granola.
Oh, that's delicious.
That is
really
incredible.
nice.
Like, no wonder you're bursting with so much energy. You're just so much energy. I'm like, oh, I need more energy. Like, Naomi's got bursting with energy. Like, you're just electric with energy, like, and feel good energy. And it's so amazing to see, especially during, these challenging times, and you're getting so much energy from your lifestyle, way of life, your food, your rituals. And also it must be making a massive difference when you aren't putting chemicals, like heavy chemicals, into your skin, like with your skincare or your body products. That's got to be making a massive difference as well. And then the self-care rituals. And I like how you dedicated this book to busy women, because every person I speak to said that what they did notice before COVID-19 well, actually, they didn't notice it prior to COVID. They thought they were busy, but they didn't realize how crazy busy they were until the first lockdown in Australia. And then they completely, like, their adrenaline glands, like their whole adrenaline system just crashed. They're like, oh my goodness, like they didn't realize how they were just running on, empty. So there's been this massive shift where people now, one of the positive things to come from the pandemic is at least our spas have reopened in Australia. And people, if they're not in lockdown, are able to go to the spa. So if they're not able to go on a holiday, they're either now able to go and have a spa ritual. And like you said, and now self-care and wellness is becoming sort of part of everyday life and blending in. And I love the whole Sunday, the spa Sunday that you're doing. Like, I'm a massive fan of that because I grew up, I'm really blessed. My mother, every Sunday, she literally had like a self-care Sunday day. It was a day of rest, and she'd do painting her nails, do her skincare, read feel-good book, like a self-help book or spirituality book, read a nice watch a little feel-good film. So I grew up from a very young age watching this, and it was a ritual every Sunday. So I'm really blessed that we get to share it with you as well. But I didn't realize, I just thought every woman or every kid grew up seeing this, seeing their mother take time out. And then I've met so many women that have never done a self-care Sunday. So it's going to be,
that example to me as well. And I think that's something for women to remember as well. Sometimes we feel guilty taking that time for ourselves, but if you're a mother, you're also modeling to your children, and both of us have experienced it. So I came from a family with 5 children, and my mother used to also incorporate just moments for herself where she would care for her skin, or, as you say, tend to her nails or her hair, or just take a moment to lie down and just resettle her nervous system. And it is those things that impacted that's what gave me the tools for life. In my teens, I explored it. And then it's interesting, throughout my 20s, I lost track of it. I think I started getting busy with work, and, I'd still maybe go book a massage every now and again. But as far as that intentional ritual at home that was a regular weekly pattern, I lost track of that. And that's why I think I was so excited when I finally connected the dots and went back full circle. And it was food, it was natural ingredients, which my mum was always about natural, and growing our own things that we could also use, that we would even turn into like a face mask at home, for example, that my mum had really paved the way for that. And then it all came back full circle for me with my eczema journey. So it's amazing how sometimes a challenge in life can actually lead you to a place that I am so grateful to now be in this place today, that I've had some challenges that, while you wish you could skip them at the time, they actually end up being the best thing that could happen to you, because it just inspires you to get your life on track, or to keep it on track when you get off, to not beat yourself up, realize life's chapters, and just, always care for yourself for wherever you are and the people around you as well.
Yeah, I'm so pleased that your mother also was a great influence for you growing up, the natural beauty and the self-care. I feel really blessed as well that my mum did, the juices, and loved Oprah Winfrey, and every book that Oprah shared, or every spiritual leader like Deepak Chopra. Like, I'm so blessed to have these incredible influences. And I often say to busy mums who are part of the SPAITGIRL community and tune into the podcast show, that by them actually taking time out, their little girl is actually, that's what they're learning to do. Like, it's just such a beautiful ritual to do. We're now doing it 3 generations, and it's so nice to have my mum there myself and my little nieces, and to think, we just pop on a face mask or have a cup of tea, or it's just so beautiful. And Sunday being our rest day. And I think mentally, it's really helped us as well during the pandemic. So I would really inspire everyone, whatever day of the week your spa day can be. Maybe you've got to work on Sunday, maybe it's your Monday, but just like finding those moments every day is just so beautiful. Now, I love, obviously, you're a massive spa junkie like me and the rest of our audience. What's one of your favorite spa treatments to have out of your range? And, there's so many, but what's one you love to have?
There's definitely a standout for me. And I was really excited, Yvette, to hear you say that it's the one that you tried in Cairns, I was really happy about that, because my favorite one is our white flannel flower sanctuary ritual. It's not just, one particular type of treatment. iKOU rituals are our specialty. And I describe them as being a head-to-toe degustation of lots of little treatments that form a complete head-to-toe experience. So that particular one, it has the most beautiful feminine ingredients in it. It has Australian white flannel flower, which the Greek name for the white flannel flower, if you see the little petals, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like a little sunburst of just white furry petals. And it means in Greek, shines like the rays of the sun. And when they have tested the white flannel flower for its emotional benefits, because again, iKOU is all about skin benefits, and white flannel flower has amazing anti-aging properties, fabulous for the skin, but the mind benefits is also a big part for us. And I love that the research has shown that Australian white flannel flower is all about connecting with inner joy, beauty, and happiness that lives within us all, even when sometimes we feel that we could never get back to that radiant version of ourselves. I know there's sometimes that we just feel so depleted with energy, or we've given out so much that we just don't feel like we could ever feel beautiful anymore, and getting that spring in your step. And in the early days of our business, we used to have a day spa, and I used to work on our front reception. And I loved it when I would see women walk through the door, tired, looking like they'd given everything out. And an hour and 45 minutes later, they'd had the white flannel flower ritual. It starts with a beautiful body polish with coconut and jasmine rice. It's very like Asian spa, really nourishing to the skin. You then have a shower to wash that away. Then we do a hydrating white flannel flower cocoon that's like a serum for the body that stays on the body. Then we do a beautiful white flannel flower facial. And while the masks are on in the facial, we do a body souffle application, which is like a massage with our white flannel flower souffle. And these are the same things that we supply in retail. So iKOU's interesting like that. A lot of brands will have a professional range and then the retail range. What we share for our guests at home is the same as the spa, but isn't it next level when somebody's there to massage you, to do that for you? I was really excited you had that treatment. It's definitely my favourite, even though I love all of our treatments.
It's that treatment I had was next level amazing. And I had it at the Pullman International Cairns and at the V Spa. I didn't know what to expect, and but the spa therapist was so beautiful, knew the journey, knew the brand, but the whole experience and the feeling of the products on my skin, aromas and the touch, and it was just, and I had arrived, I felt so depleted, like you said, so burnt out, just had been so busy with so much travel. And what happens is if you're traveling all the time or you're on the go all the time, you don't realize how exhausted you are until you stop and go to the spa. And then you realize, and then the whole transformation, it was so life transforming, and it felt so good and it smelt so good, and it was really, really beautiful. That's one of my go-to favorites. And if anyone gets the opportunity to have it, it's such a gift, it's such a blessing, really, really beautiful. And you just feel so good afterwards. just like floating.
Yes.
You just feel like you want to hug the spa therapist. Thank you so much. Like, I feel so good. How do you feel? Like all your stress is gone, all your worry. Like, it's so good. I always say, you can feel like the whole world's on top of your shoulders. You can feel completely, utterly burnt out, you know. And then you go and have that spa treatment and the whole, environment. But then it just restores you and rebalances you, and you just feel like I always say feeling like $1 million again, but you just feel so good.
So transformative.
And you feel like, I don't feel burnt out anymore. I don't feel exhausted. I feel really good. Like, it's just so transforming. If you're listening and you haven't had that spa treatment, you must have it when you get the opportunity, because you're only one spa day away or one self-care ritual away from feeling good. Like, it's only, it's a mate. I think I always am amazed how you can be like, feeling burnt out, but then you have the treatment and then you just feel so energized and
amazing, isn't it?
Rejuvenated again, and you feel just so amazing. You know that your mind's clear, all the stress is out of your body. It just feels so good. You can see why we're junkies, because it feels so good. It feels good. And when you find something that makes you feel good in such a natural way as well, like it's natural therapy as well, which is working on. That's why I love spa. It's working, like you say, on your mind, on your emotional, physical, like it's spiritual, but it works at you feel so well after a treatment, really well, like mentally well, physically well, emotionally well, that I just wish every woman or even man could just feel that good. And I think that's why I was so excited always, and like you, just want to help people feel good, feel well. And when I discovered that you could go to the spa and it could transform the way you felt from within, get rid of the stress. And it's just so life transforming that I feel like, I can save lives here. Like, we can save lives here and transform lives just by one treatment. And even now with your roll-on, and just even with the breathing, there are just so many, like you said, it's a jigsaw puzzle, but there's so many things you can do, and you can only do maybe one thing a day, but that can help you to feel good.
And one thing gives you more energy for the next as well, is what I find. So it's all about the more energy that you can get, the more then that you can enjoy and that you can stay on track with in life. And I think that was one thing that my accident really made me realize, is just how precious every single day of life is. And if we can transform the way that we feel to feel the best that we can every day and really enjoy that day of life, you never know what tomorrow holds. So enjoy today and be the healthiest and happiest version of yourself. And completely agree with you. It's only, oftentimes one activation away can so shift the way that you're feeling. It's amazing to think that we have these tools, but often we feel guilty using them, or we feel like, we don't have time for it. But it's just as important as eating, is looking after your body, your vessel as well.
Yeah. And one of I think what I've seen during the global pandemic and COVID-19 is wellness has been a really elevated, or health wellness and mental health and self-care and the importance. And I'm noticing people are really fascinated by learning from each other and learning different rituals, and reading books again has become super popular. It's become really the new norm of personally developing yourself and learning what works well for you and taking care of yourself. Whereas maybe before COVID, mothers weren't really, they were so busy. Whereas now it's like, no, this is the new norm. You got to take time for yourself, and even your children, like they need to learn these tools, like how can they switch off from technology and how can they learn to connect to their breath. So I feel that if there's a father out there or a grandmother, or it doesn't matter if you're caring for younger children, if they too can learn these things in your book, like what a gift that is for all generations to come. Just so beautiful that you've gone to so much effort to write this book to help others. It's just so, so beautiful. I could talk to you forever about iKOU and your lifestyle and spa. Some people will ask, you work with your husband. You have an incredible relationship, however, and I guess that comes down to you both being so passionate about your lifestyle. You obviously work incredible as a team, and you walk your talk. Like you are your brand. It's an extension of what you do. It's your lifestyle, so it's a way of life. But obviously your husband has been such a pivotal played such a pivotal role in allowing you to share what you love and do what you love as well.
Actually, that is such an incredible thing, to have a man supporting a woman so much in what ultimately was me starting my own business. And initially Paul's involvement was going to be small. So Paul's a graphic designer, so he was going to do the labels and build my website. And then as soon as I got started, we realized that there was so much more to the brand that we wanted to share. And so we spent 6 months working on the business and the branding and the product ranges, all the development before we actually launched. And during that time, we were trying to create a range of 100% natural wax candles to go with our rituals, because for me, lighting a candle is such an important part of that. Do you know what happened? We couldn't find anyone that was able to produce something that would be guaranteed paraffin-free, that would be 100% natural wax. And so Paul started watching my frustration trying to outsource this product that we always thought we'd get somebody else to make. And he said, how hard can it be? It must be possible. So he started dabbling in candle making. And then by the time we launched, it was very much the two of us. So we started with me making the spa products, or the skincare, the body care, the bath salts. And then Paul was out in our garage that we converted to a studio making the candles. So it's been an incredible journey to be able to work together. And having two of us, like even when COVID-19 first hit, we could talk about the fact that, for example, spas were closed and people couldn't go and do their regular things. I mean, even just the little practices of maybe going to the gym if you enjoyed that each day, or going and getting your hair cut, became something that was a big decision even. The little things that used to sort of just, give you a lift for the day. So we talked about it, and we even created some of our own ritual packs for home that was like a spa ritual for home. One was called Energise Your Life and one was called De-Stress Your Life. And it's all our favourite rituals put together with step-by-step instructions for how to use them at home. So you could do a home spa ritual. So I would create the product and ritual, and then he would create like the graphic side of that, get that onto the website, do the mail out for everybody. So we're very much, I always say we're like jigsaw piece puzzles too, that between the two of us, we make the complete picture of iKOU. And you don't often see Paul, he's very behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But it really is a beautiful thing to see a man supporting a woman in her business so much, and what he does for all of our team, without a lot of people even really, seeing him as that front face. So
Oh,
I'm very, very lucky. We've been together since I was 18, did you know?
oh, that is so beautiful. Isn't he incredible?
All bonded by eczema in the early days. I
Yeah.
remember Paul went home and he said to his mum, so Paul was 23, I was 18, and Paul went home to his mum and he said, I've met a girl and she's got eczema, and look at where it led us to today.
Oh, this is such a beautiful story. I just hope they make a movie out of your story. Like, seriously, it is such an incredible, such a down-to-earth Aussie story. And you're so down to earth, despite your growth and your brand's now global. It's just incredible growth that's happened in all areas of spa, wellness, self-care, mindfulness. But it's such a great Aussie story, and such a good one, like from your kitchen just to where it is now. It just must be so wow. It's just so incredible. It's such a great story. And I'm sure it's going to give other people out there that might have a dream, whether it to be write a book, whether it be a kid's book or a cookbook, or maybe they just have something they've wanted to do, but being fearful to give it a go. Maybe there'll be a lot of people that'll be like, right, I need to find a husband like Paul. Can we find must be able to support business growth. But isn't it amazing that you could find a life partner who really could like just be hands-on to help you? I'm sure so many people be like, oh, I need that in my life. Because family business or being in business is stressful at times. Everybody thinks it's so smooth sailing, but I've spoken to some people over COVID-19 who went, oh, I can't get my bottles in from overseas. It's going to be a 3-month delay. And so I've heard a lot of it sounds glamorous on the outside, but there's a lot of coordination, and even just doing taxes is enough. It's just beautiful that you've got such a great relationship, and it's flourishing in times like this too.
Absolutely. I think that's been the most profound thing. I think COVID, the last year, 2020, really polarized. Some people suddenly had heaps of time on their hands. Others suddenly, business like us, it just went boom because everybody was like, I need a bit of iKOU to feel good. And so even though the spas and hotels shut down, which was, half of our business, supplying them, the online went insane because everybody wanted to get their deliveries, and we deliver nice and fast. But you're right, supply issues were really challenging. Our team was incredible. So we talk about having a great partner in life and work. Our team are the same, and they're just such a passionate, engaged team that just wanted everybody to feel good. So we even started putting on Sunday shifts to ship orders so that people could get things really quickly. Team members were coming in from maybe retail stores that had closed. They would come into our factory and our head office to help get orders out. And what made me feel just so grateful is all of the customers that consciously chose to support Australian made. And I noticed on social media, more than ever, people would post beforehand, they'd be holding up their product saying, I've got my iKOU. But then all of a sudden they'd hashtag, or down the bottom they'd put, I'm so proud to use Australian-made skincare. And so it's just put us into such a growth phase that we're now hiring more staff. So I actually need so many more people on our team. We're actually really growing our team of staff to help support where we're going with this. And I just, want everybody to feel great as a result of iKOU. So it's just so beautiful to see it getting out there into the world.
Beautiful. And how beautiful. I actually did see your team are incredible. Big credit to them for coming in, just thinking of other people's mental health and well-being. And wanting to we need to get these products. I got goosebumps.
And they really care.
Yeah, they're really
people that that like the birthday gifts, all of a sudden it was cards that we were writing on behalf of the other person because they couldn't take the gift themselves. And sometimes our staff would be in tears. They'd be writing something saying, I can't believe what people are going through, because obviously you get an insight into that as you're writing, like just some of the really, dark times that people were in, and their friend was sending them a little bit of light through iKOU and something to help them feel good. But I love that our staff just didn't generically write the message without disconnection. I really believe that love goes out through all of our products, and that's why people come back to our brand again and again and again. They feel it through through every layer of our business, whether it is where we source our products from and being a business that benefits all and cruelty-free and supporting Australian farmers, through to the way it's made with love and our staff caring, and then also our formulations, obviously, that I create are all about shifting the way that you feel, because I've been on both sides of the fence, knowing that sometimes you feel amazing and sometimes you just don't. And how can you get yourself back to that place where you really do enjoy every day of life and you feel really great to be alive and great to be yourself no matter what?
Yeah, and how beautiful those people sending gifts to someone struggling or going through a difficult time. And to have that arrive, what a beautiful gift. There's so many incredible acts of kindness that I've seen during COVID. I've seen so many acts of compassion, empathy, kindness, and that was one of the things, and sense of support, community. And I loved seeing the outpouring of love to support Australian brands and Australian farmers. I've always been huge on cruelty-free because I love animals. And I'm loving seeing, we need to support Australian. We need to support Australian jobs, our economy, our farmers, our makers, your business. But I did see that. I saw a massive shift. So instead of going to the supermarket to get a brand that gets made, who knows what factory, where they don't know the founders, the story. I saw that massive shift, and I love that, because I remember Dick Smith growing up when I was a kid, and he used to be like, you got to make sure, I remember watching it, make sure you turn that product over when you're at the supermarket and find out where it's been made. And I remember growing up going, oh, this was made in Thailand. Oh, okay, this is made by Australian farmers. We got to pay $2 extra, but we got to get that product. So it just really, he was one of those big ambassadors for buying Aussie, and I've seen the outpouring of love. And
even local travel now too, we're feeling that. So all of our spa partners, because our spa partners are generally in quite iconic locations, like you were talking about, Cairns, Far North Queensland, Port Douglas, Palm Cove, WA, we're in Walgan Valley. So all these iconic places that maybe, people beforehand would have thought, oh, that's an expensive place to go and visit, because, we've got some beautiful luxury spa partners. Lizard Island, we were just talking about before, so amazing. But I think now people are actually valuing that and going, you know what, beforehand I used to spend so much money on a flight, and I'd be away for longer because it, would justify the travel, and you'd spend that same amount of money. But I think now people are also going, I'm excited to explore more of Australia, and our spa partners are all saying the same. They're so busy. So many of them are asking, do you know any spa therapists that are looking for work? Because they're all, looking for more people just to keep up with the demand. So I think it's that beautiful combination of people going, let's explore Australia, let's buy Australian made, and also going, I need something to help me feel good right now. I'm going to do a spa holiday or do some spa.
You're right. It's such an exciting time for iconic spa travel in Australia and luxurious islands. We've got so much natural resources and natural beauty. And we've probably discovered here were people flying in regularly, from Hong Kong or coming all the way from London or all the way from America to like explore our backyard. And I've spoken to so many people who've said, oh, I've never been to, you know, the Daintree, or I've never been to the Great Barrier Reef. But so it is really like an awakening of how beautiful our country is, how blessed we are. And I think now we're no longer taking travel for granted. We get to do it. Yes. Like I recently got to go to Pinnacles Resort, but at Ellie Beach, and just being in the pool overlooking the Whitsundays was like, oh, wow, it's like COVID doesn't exist here. And it was such a great way to switch off. And I felt really safe. I felt like all of their, you know, it feels safe to travel when we can in Australia, when it's allowed to happen. So I think more are going to be exploring and traveling, and it's like there are so many good things that we're learning. Resilience, especially for younger generation. They're saying for the first time they're experiencing they can't get everything they want when they want, do what they want when they want. And I know what that feels like. We used to be able to travel wherever we wanted, when we wanted. So it's really bringing us back to some core values. But now, how can we stay in touch with you, Naomi, after this podcast show? Also, grab a copy of your book and stay connected so we can learn more from you and be part of your beautiful journey and join your team, join your community, and just keep this beautiful iKOU lifestyle and energy pouring to us.
So there's two places. One, if you go to iKOU.com.au, which is our website, which is also where you can get the book from. If you sign up to the lifestyle register that's on there, I personally do our mail outs. I do blogs, and also just I try not to overwhelm. I only share when I've got something that is, you know, really of value, that's giving and going to be very practical for people for, you know, where we are today. But they personally come from myself and Paul. So if you sign up to that, that keeps you in touch with that. And in fact, you can look at a whole lot of the blogs on our website as well. We've covered so many different subjects, including eczema, for example, stress. There were a lot of things when COVID first hit about holiday at home, creating your own wellness holiday at home. So things like that. So go to the website. And then the other place is Instagram. So we do Facebook as well, but I'll confess it's hard to keep up with all of the channels. And I definitely give Instagram more love because I just love the whole visual side of Instagram as well. And so if you go to, our handle is iKOU Inspire. And I also run our Instagram. So that's myself doing the posts and replying to the comments that are on there as well. So hopefully I can keep up with it all after this, but that would be the best places. You can drop in and visit an iKOU store as well. We've got 3 stores. So Byron Bay, we have Cuba Bay in Sydney, and Lura in the Blue Mountains. So all New South Wales based, and beautiful iconic locations to visit as well. And our team are just amazing. They love looking after all of our guests that come in the store as well.
You're amazing, you and Paul and your team, and also your supporters and your community and clients and people who love to use you. Thank you for everyone who takes a photo and promotes you and shares you, because it just allows then someone else to discover it and learn about. I really love seeing women or men, people, girls, sharing what they're doing to feel good from within, because it can help someone else to feel good. You're such an incredible writer too. Can I say congratulations again on your book. I love how you are still so connected to your brand and how you are communicating from your own heart and soul and really hands-on, because you could have made a decision to just get someone else to do that for you, to write your blogs. You know, we get paid to be ghost writers these days, you know, and no one knows that we're writing for a brand, but you could have done that, but I just love how passionate you are, and how caring and hands-on you are. It's just so beautiful. It really is, especially in these times, to have that personal connection and to know what's going on and to be so hands-on. It's a beautiful thing.
It's relatable and real that way too, because generally the things that I'm writing, I don't write a long way in advance either. So it feels very real and in the moment. And I think that's when, you really can be of benefit and give of service to others, is when things are quite real and in the moment and relatable as well. So it's my absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I was about to say you're one of service, because when you're writing to help someone else, like the reader or your iKOU fans, community, you're writing to help them to feel good or to learn a way to de-stress. That's of service. So you're just turning up asking, how can I help today? How can I serve? How can I help others to feel good from within? And that being in Australia and globally, because I was about to ask, Naomi, if we've got people tuning in from London, they're currently going through lockdown now and it's winter. Obviously, they can go to your website at iKOU.com.au, iKOU, and then they can look at all your products, and you've got your book there. So they're able to, you're shipping globally, aren't you?
We are. If it's within Scandinavia and Singapore, there would be areas that they could order within their own country. We are shipping globally. I guess the challenge is international shipping at the moment through Australia Post. It is taking a lot longer because sometimes customs is holding things up once it gets to the other end. We dispatch very quickly. So we aim to dispatch all of our orders within 24 hours, which is why in Australia we get so much fan mail, because people say, my goodness, I feel like I just logged off the computer and there was a knock on the door. Like generally you'll get your order, if it's a capital city, overnight. Even Perth, actually, I organised something for somebody there the other day. It was an overnight service from the Blue Mountains. It was amazing. Not always. Sometimes, as I say, with COVID, sometimes things have been a little bit unpredictable. But I think because we get it out quickly from our end, you always know it's going to get to you as quickly as possible. And yeah, it's been such a joy to send out so many parcels to so many people, just knowing the difference that it makes.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I can't wait for everyone who's tuning in to grab a copy of your book, because it's such a beautiful book. Energize Your Life, iKOU, Rest, Relax, Restore. This is part of our book club now, SPAITGIRL Book Club, which is such an honor, Naomi, just to sit with you, be with you, share your story, your words of wisdom, all your iKOU rituals, self-care tips, way of life. It's just incredible. Thank you again. Super grateful and honored. You really are one of our pioneers when it comes to spa, wellness, the whole lifestyle, the mind. And you truly do live your philosophy and your brand inside out. Like there's it is an extension of you, all of your products, your book, your rituals.
It's everything I love and want for myself.
Yeah, and super grateful that all of our SPAITGIRL community can share the love with you as well, and Paul and the rest of your team too. So we will say goodbye. I can't wait to have you again, a guest on the show.
I'd love to.
You have so much knowledge when it comes to feeling good. And you've also gone through the good and the bad. So your life hasn't been smooth sailing. And I feel like it's so relatable. And that's why I can relate to you so much, because, you haven't had this little rosy, like, oh, I did this and it just went like this. So it's just really amazing. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I'm so honored and grateful that we got to spend this time. We will do, we will hashtag iKOU, iKOU. And we'll hashtag SPAITGIRL on our Instagram page when we're using you or reading your book. And we'll keep connected. We'll stay connected as a community. And thank you again, Naomi. I'm going to say it, Whitfeld. Yeah, because
Naomi, it's fine.
yeah, I love what you do. So we'll say goodbye to our beautiful guest. I hope you feel so energized and so inspired that you can feel good throughout this year, through COVID-19, through the global pandemic. There are ways for you to feel good despite what's going on externally in the news, despite what's happening. Even with the rapid change, there are ways that you can feel good from within. And I hope this episode has truly inspired you to come back to your own self and to take care of your own health and well-being from within. On that note, I will say goodbye. Be sure to subscribe to the Spirit Girl Talk Show podcast, to leave a 5-star rating and review, and to tell someone you love to. And together, let's feel good from within. Bye for now. Bye.